I, 21F. Feel like my boyfriend, 35M, betrayed my trust. TW. Brief mentions of CSA and infidelity. I'm not going to lie, I feel a bit goofy venting about this, but in all honesty I don't know how to feel about this whole situation. I was debating whether or not to post this, but I'm almost positive I'll feel better if I do. In the past week, I've had some family issues, and in the middle of it my boyfriend took it upon himself to bring up the sexual assault that I experienced as a child to my family. My mom denied knowing anything about it, even though she knew about it 100% but never believed me, and my stepdad was shocked and sympathetic. Before going any further, I want to make it clear that my stepdad was not the person who did it. I was in elementary school when I was assaulted by my mom's boyfriend at the time. My stepdad and mom didn't even meet until I was in high school. Anyways, so my boyfriend brings this up, I guess as a way of telling my mom that she was shitty. IDK. The problem is I never gave him my blessing or consent to bring it up. He is one of the only people I trusted with the information, and he was fully aware that it is a very sensitive subject that I don't like bringing up often, especially during times of high stress. When I found out via my stepdad that my boyfriend was talking about it, I had a breakdown, ran out of work in tears. For background, I work for my stepdad and mom's company, so does my boyfriend. I took half an hour to decompress at home and ended up going back to work to finish the day. I had a conversation with my boyfriend about how I felt betrayed, and the entire situation was extremely traumatic because I was unwillingly forced to think about it, relive it. Long story short, he told me that he had to do it because it was the only way things would change with my mom. She's another post for another time. I let it rest because it seemed like he had good intentions, just really poor execution. It bothered me, still does, but honestly I would have let it go if the next thing I'm about to talk about hadn't happened. Last night, we had some friends over for dinner, who are also a couple. We were having a few drinks. I told my boyfriend to chill on the alcohol because we had work the next morning, and since we all work in construction, our friends included, we needed to be awake bright and early. He ignored me and kept drinking. As the night progressed, it was now 1 a.m. My boyfriend brings up the fact that, while he was with his ex-girlfriend, he was actively talking to 3 or 4 other women. I was completely stunned upon hearing this. Here's some background. For the year and a half that I have been with my boyfriend, he claimed that he ended things with her after 10 years of being together because she constantly accused him of cheating. He told me that the fights she would pick were too much to handle, and that not once during all of those years did he disrespect her. In fact, he always prided himself on his honesty. I took his word for it, obviously. Back to the story. I sat there with a completely dumbfounded look on my face. I felt like I had been punched in the gut with 2 fists with confusion tattooed on the knuckles. Because I was extremely confused and just surprised that this had never come up. 30 seconds went by before I could even conjure up words to speak. I told him exactly how I felt, how now I was sympathizing with his ex because she had every right not to trust him if he was speaking with other women romantically. I told him that I couldn't believe that he claimed to be an open and honest book, and now this was coming out, this detail that he had never told me about, and obviously for good reason. The only rebuttal he had was the fact that A, it had happened in the past and he was in a different relationship, and B, he never had sex with them, so it wasn't cheating. I think this made my chest ache more. I felt truly disgusted. Granted, I don't think the drinking helped with that. I said, yeah, maybe you didn't have sex with them, but talking to other people romantically is a huge violation of trust. I asked him how he would feel if I did that to him, or if he found out I had lied to him about being unfaithful to one of my ex-partners. It was then, when he told me, "I've lied to you countless of times. I lie to you all the time." This triggered tears from me. Our friends were still right there, watching this whole shit show, probably just as if not more confused than I was. It's ironic because our friends are the ones who always have huge arguments in front of us, so the roles being reversed made me feel like I was in the Twilight Zone. Anyways, our friends tried their best to defuse the shitty situation, trying to calm me down by saying yeah, it was in the past and that I didn't need to worry about it. They also tried to calm my boyfriend down by telling him to stop talking before he said something he would regret. I didn't know how to react. I tried to talk between crying, but I felt like I looked like an idiot. I think it hurts especially bad because I have a personality disorder that has made me compulsively lie in the past, but I have done everything in my power to never tell a lie to my boyfriend. I've done a really good job of it and have always been open and upfront about everything with him. I guess it just feels like a huge backstab because he literally admitted to my face that he lied to me all the time. I understand he was intoxicated and at the time he probably didn't fully understand what he was saying. At this point, I was crying pretty hard and our friends were trying their best to calm me down. My boyfriend got up and went to the kitchen while shouting things like, "If you don't want to be with me then leave," and, "I know I'm an ugly guy but if we break up I can have a new girlfriend the next day, and you're going to be the one begging for me back." Our friends ended up leaving once my boyfriend calmed down. He explained to me that the reason he was talking to other women is because his ex started it by speaking to other men. This just confused me more. If she was doing that, why would he stoop down to her level like that? Why didn't he try to make amends or leave her if he felt hurt? Why did he need to betray her back? I asked all of these questions and didn't get a single answer back. I think another reason the whole situation triggered me so badly is because something very similar happened to me in my last relationship. I was with my ex-boyfriend for a year and I found out that he was speaking to other women. He had the exact same, "I never had sex with them so it's not bad" defense. Never once did it cross my mind that I needed to talk to other guys to get back at him or feel better. I just broke up with him. I popped up like toast at 6 a.m. like I do every morning and tried to wake up my boyfriend. He was too hungover to even move so he told my stepdad, our boss, he was sick with a stomach virus and he wouldn't be working today. Stepdad believed him and was understanding. As I was about to leave to go to work, my boyfriend stopped me and asked me why I didn't say bye and why I seemed angry. I just asked him, "How could I not be angry after you told me that you lie to me all the time? How am I ever supposed to believe anything you say to me now moving forward?" He told me it was a bad joke. It felt like he was digging himself a deeper hole. Before I left, he insisted that I kiss him goodbye. I let him kiss my cheek just to avoid any more conflict. But truly I felt extremely disgusted by him so I didn't look at him or say anything when I turned around and left. The situation just hurts. I don't know what to do moving forward. I want to stay with him because I do love him with all my heart and he has always treated me so well up until now. I'm just at a loss. Thanks for reading. Sorry if there are any typos or grammatical issues, I just don't feel up to it to read through this right now. Edit. I didn't even mention what I needed advice for. I just don't know how to approach this in a conversation without triggering either of us. I want to have a serious sit down but I don't even know where to start, if I should even approach this topic, etc. My brain literally feels like scrambled eggs right now. You're with an abuser who groomed a 19-year-old girl. http://www.loveisrespect.com. Get out of there and get some therapy. Your abusive past has normalized abuse for you. This isn't love. It's toxicity and it will severely damage you if you don't leave and get some help. There's a reason that he, 35M, is with you, a woman 14 years his junior, just out of her teens entering adulthood. Wow. This is awful. He is awful. My ex had a trauma issue to discuss with her parents. It was something that they both participated in but no one talked about, not CSA. My partner needed to talk to her mom. I encouraged her to do so. She did on her own terms and it helped. Never would I ever have taken it upon myself to bring up the subject for her. That is so wrong. It's controlling behavior. Girl, this man is abusive. Get out. He told you who he is. Believe him. Girl, red flags all over the place here. And even though your post is long and full of information, I feel like there is a lot you're not saying. At best, this man is manipulating you to the nth degree. At worst, he is totally abusive. I am leaning toward the latter. Either way, this is not a healthy relationship. I am sorry you are going through this. I would suggest you dig deep and find the means to walk away from this. He's abusive, dishonest, and a nasty drunk. You can do better. This is definitely at love. He admitted lying to you all the time. Anything else he says is suspect. That story about his ex talking to guys first is obviously just another lie. You've seen his true colors. He doesn't think it's wrong to lie to you and he isn't sorry. He is not sorry. You're with an abuser, but you know that already. People told you a year ago that he's bad news, but you didn't listen. What kind of advice can anyone give that you'll take? Why do you feel like you deserve this trash man? Edit. I saw more of your post history and I see the answer is your struggles with your mental health. I think this is above Reddit's pay grade and hope you're getting professional help. When someone tells you who they are, even if they're drunk, believe them. He's been lying to you, a lot. He can't be trusted. He betrayed you. You need to end this before it gets worse. Woo, your age gap scares me. I was with a guy when I was 22, he was 35. My now ex also used the line, "I can get any girl I want if we break up." I was with him 4 years, 4 years I'll never get back. His narcissistic abuse ruined me. You guy sounds just as manipulative. He'll always one-up you because he knows better, because he's older. I'm 31 now and still younger than he was when he first met me. I would never date someone that much younger than me, it's gross. Your story breaks my heart because I can tell you don't know how badly this man is treating you. Please leave, before it's too late. He humiliated you in front of a group and acted cold and cruel. This isn't someone you want to spend any more time with. Also, good men in their 30s will not date people your age, no offense to you. For most of them, the age difference is too large. Him being 14 years older is very, very telling. Just like everybody else, instantly saw the age gap and saw red flags. He has shown he is a clear manipulator. I'm very sorry to hear about this. I can't begin to imagine how gutted you must feel by this. Multiple betrayals in such a short amount of time. I'm seeing multiple red flags in your story: his lack of respect for your privacy, his distortions of the truth, his gaslighting, and his borderline abusive language. My advice would be to leave this relationship behind. You deserve so much better than this, and to pursue therapy and focus on self-love and healing instead. This guy does not treat you well at all. Location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag. Time to bounce. For all the reasons listed above. This guy is a manipulative abuser. Honey, run, don't walk. Get away from this man. He's not good for your soul. He's trash, and the moment he told me he lies to me all the time, I would have had his bags packed and kicked him out. He's an abusive asshole who preyed on a young girl. Looks at ages. Deep sigh. I didn't even read the post. What the fuck is a 35-year-old doing with a 21-year-old? Please dump him for the love of God. You are 21 with a near geriatric who groomed you since you were a teen. It's time to let go. Call him on his bluff and leave him. People who make that kind of bluff know damn well that it's a bluff. And remember, folks, if you're of traditional school, college age and someone in their 30s wants to date you, ask yourself why they can't find someone their own age and run. That kind of age gap that young very rarely ends well. Weekly comment of large age gaps not working out. Leave. There's something seriously wrong with this guy. Probably quite a few things. And the age difference is an indicator of exactly that. 35 yo guys date 21 yo women so they can control and manipulate them into tolerating their truckloads of bullshit. Saying horrible things and making you cry while he's drunk and then pretending like it's a joke the next day. Absolutely fucking not. He knows what he did, he knew what he was doing when he did it on purpose, and he's not sorry. He just wants you to take it. Break up with this abusive, unbalanced loser. The age gap alone. Dump his creepy disrespectful at $. You deserve better. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Thehotline.org. Rain.org. So again, who destroyed your self-worth that you are with this asshole? What did you see in him? Middle-aged saggy balls? Drunken nastiness? Or the ability to lie? Or the cheating history? Ask yourself why you were attracted to this piece of shit. Then kill that part of yourself, kill that thought process and mentality. Develop a healthy routine on how to choose a good partner and find someone your own age. Not who is already fucking around when you were in diapers. I'm not even 35 yet and you're too young for me. It's tough because you are an adult and no one wants to condescend to you, but you don't want to be with any man in his 30s who wants to seriously date you at 21. Of course he sucks. There's no such thing as a guy who dates women this young who doesn't suck. Your boyfriend has a drinking problem, and aside from that is a shitty person who groomed a young girl with, according to you, some mental health problems. This is a man who should not be given more chances. Leave. 1. Break up with this lying bastard and block him on everything. Trust is the crux of every relationship. You cannot have trust without love. 2. Get tested for all STDs including HIV, just because he has proven himself to be untrustworthy. How can you believe he isn't sleeping around? 3. Do not start another relationship with anybody else without a therapist in your corner. You've got a few things you need to work on for yourself between your past trauma, your shitty mom, and your doubly shitty relationships. Go with your gut. It seems like you know this isn't right. I also have a personality disorder, and when I was your age I was with a man of the same age as your boyfriend, and I wish I could take all the wasted time and pain back. I am with others who have said that this isn't a good situation and the conversation needs to be about getting out of there. Grandpa is with you 'cause you are the boss's daughter. Kick him to the curb like yesterday, but today sounds good too. A grown-ass man abusing an almost teenager after grooming them into a relationship. Shocking. You're mature and self-aware. You deserve so much more. Get out of this relationship ASAP. Didn't read. Age difference is enough. I didn't read the post yet, but let me guess. The relationship started when you were barely legal? The fact that you would even get involved with this guy from the beginning shows that you have major issues, probably stemming from your sexual trauma. He is a loser and hopefully you realize this now and find someone at least in the ballpark of your age next time. You were attracted to an abuser, and he was attracted to a young girl that he could dominate and control. Do you know why that 35-year-old guy prefers to date a 21-year-old woman? Because no woman of his age would accept to put up with his bolt. Seriously. He doesn't respect you. He doesn't seem to respect women in general. He drinks too much, he lies. Why do you need this type of man in your life? Young women, stop dating guys much older than you. They're almost always manipulative, gaslighting dickhead predators. From a 26-year-old woman who dated a gross 23-year-old when I was 16. 35-year-old with a 21-year-old is the biggest red flag in the book. So he was 14 years older when you were 19? Does that seem okay to you? Exactly. The vast majority of men over 30 who date girls barely out of their teens do so because women their age won't tolerate their controlling, manipulative bullshit. He is a liar, and last night when drunk he told you the truth. He has shown you who he really is. If you stay with him after this, he will ramp up this toxic behavior because he knows that you will tolerate it. This age difference is just too much. He groomed you. Get out while you can. You aren't special. He doesn't care about you, only what he can get from you. You handle this by packing and leaving. This guy is abusive and that won't get better with time. He's 35 years old dating someone who just became able to legally drink. He wanted a partner he could lie to all the time and control, so he picked a young one. He broke your trust. He decided that his judgment overrides yours. He lies to you all the time. Drunkenness brings honesty. He is a liar. It's not cheating if he keeps his pants on. Which means he probably has a few women lined up AMD waiting already. He lied to your stepdad, his boss, and you let him. He is not a good guy. Get away from him ASAP. www.thehotline.com and www.rain.org. Domestic violence and sexual abuse support is available at those two sites. Please get help and ruin far from this guy. If you ever wonder why a 35-year-old will go after a 21-year-old, his sense of maturity shows a lot here. He probably thinks a grown-ass woman won't put up with his shit, so he goes after someone who just out of high school. I didn't even read past the "I lie to you all the time" girl run. I didn't even need to finish reading this. Please break up with him for your own good. You don't deserve to be treated like this, and he does not sound like a good person at all. Everyone reading this who passed the 5th grade can tell you that he is using you. He's dating you because you're young. He's 14 years older than you. You're both in completely different stages of life. Dump him ASAP. He's shown you more than once that he's betrayed you and openly admitted a pathological liar. You are not safe around that awe. Know why this charmer isn't dating women his own age? 14 years from now, you will have the life experience to be the one here telling the next generation of vulnerable girls that dudes like this are garbage, so they have to limit their dating pool to women that don't have the life experience to recognize that. He was very honest and open about betraying you. And he was okay with doing it because he doesn't respect you very much. Please break up with him in these next few days. I can't even read this all. He's scum. He's abusing you. He's way too old for you. You're so young with your whole life ahead of you. Leave and be single until you love yourself so much that you feel compelled to share it. Age gap losers. They just want to control you. Move on and stay away from this asshole. The only thing I can say to you is that you deserve better. What he said is not a joke, just who he truly is. You are better than this. Such a shitty person shouldn't be in your life. The other advice I give you is not take this into your next relationship. If you think everyone lies and because of that there are no harm in lying yourself, because you may find someone special who don't lie to you at all, and you'll ruin everything by acting like the thing you despise. I'm talking by experience. I was the one lied to because the once honest girl thought everyone lied. "Oh my gosh, I couldn't get through it all because he just kept getting worse and worse. Please do yourself a favor and leave. He is a terrible man. If your PFP is you, you're absolutely gorgeous and you can do better than him. Be with someone who treats you better than that. Believe him. He told you the truth maybe for the first time. He is lying to you all the time when he is sober. You don't want to live with cheater, liar and manipulator.